When you were a kid, a single summer felt like it lasted 1,000 years. The school year stretched out forever. Waiting for a birthday was almost unbearable, the days crawling by. And now, you blink and it's December again. Whole years vanish. People say, "Where did the time go?" And they mean it. Time genuinely seems to speed up as we get older, accelerating a little more every year. But of course, an hour is still an hour. A year is still a year. So why does time feel like it's racing? The answer is hidden in how your brain builds your sense of time in the first place. Here's the first key idea. Your brain doesn't measure time with a clock. It measures time with memories. When you look back on a period of your life, your sense of how long it lasted is built from how much you remember happening in it. A stretch packed with vivid, distinct memories feels long in retrospect. A stretch that blurs together with little to distinguish one day from the next feels short. So the question isn't really why does time speed up? It's why do we lay down fewer memorable memories as we age? And the answer is novelty. When you're a child, almost everything is new. Your first day of school, your first time at the ocean, your first bike, your first heartbreak, learning to read, learning to swim, tasting foods you've never tasted, going places you've never been. Every experience is fresh, and the brain pays close attention to new things, recording them in rich detail. So childhood is densely packed with vivid first-time memories, which is exactly why, looking back, it feels enormous, expansive, almost endless. There was simply so much to remember. Now think about a typical week as an adult. You wake up at the same time, take the same route, do similar work, see similar people, eat familiar food, follow the same evening routine. Very little is genuinely new. And because it's not new, the brain doesn't bother to record it in detail. It already knows this pattern, so it runs on autopilot and files almost nothing. A month of routine can pass, leaving barely a handful of distinct memories behind. And when you look back on it, with so little to remember, it feels like it flew by. The time wasn't shorter, it was just emptier of memorable moments. This is the heart of it. Routine compresses time in memory. Novelty expands it. The brain encodes the new and skips the familiar. So a life heavy with repetition leaves few memory markers, and the years collapse into a blur. The reason summers felt eternal as a child wasn't that summers were longer then. It's that they were crammed with new experiences your brain dutifully recorded, while your adult summers, full of the same routines as every other season, leave hardly a trace. There's a second piece, a more mathematical one, and it's surprisingly compelling. Consider how each new year relates to your whole life so far. When you're 5 years old, 1 year is a fifth of your entire existence, an enormous, significant chunk. When you're 50, 1 year is a 50th of your life, a tiny sliver by comparison. So relative to everything you've lived, each passing year is a smaller and smaller fraction of the total. By this logic, a year feels faster as you age simply because it's proportionally less of the life you've accumulated. The years aren't shrinking, your reference pile is growing. These two explanations work together beautifully. The proportional effect means each year is a smaller fraction of your life. The novelty effect means each year, if it's full of routine, contains fewer memorable moments to give it weight and length. Combine them, and you get the powerful, accelerating sense that time is slipping away faster and faster, that the years are tumbling past while you can barely keep hold of them. It's not your imagination. It's a real feature of how the brain constructs the experience of time. There's something genuinely poignant in this, but also something hopeful, because it points straight at a remedy. If routine makes time vanish, and novelty makes it expand, then you have real influence over how full and long your life feels. You can't add hours to the day, but you can change how much of it your brain bothers to record. The way to slow down time, in the only sense that actually matters, the remembered sense, is to fill your life with new experiences, with things your brain will sit up and pay attention to. This is why a single week of travel in a new place, doing unfamiliar things, can feel longer in memory than 2 months of ordinary routine back home. So much was new that the brain recorded it all in vivid detail, and looking back, that week is dense and rich and seems to have lasted a long time, while the routine months blur into nothing. The lesson is clear. Novelty is the raw material that memory, and therefore the felt length of your life, is made from. A life of comfortable sameness will feel, in retrospect, like it barely happened. You don't have to fly across the world to use this, though. Novelty can be small and woven into everyday life. Take a different route, learn something genuinely new, meet new people, break your routines on purpose, pay deliberate, full attention to ordinary moments instead of running through them on autopilot. Even the simple act of being present, really noticing the meal, the conversation, the walk, instead of letting your mind run elsewhere, helps the brain register the moment and lay down a memory. Presence itself is a way of slowing time, because what you actually attend to is what you remember, and what you remember is what made your life feel long. It's also why time can feel strange during a big disruption to routine. People often notice that a long, unusual stretch felt simultaneously fast and slow, the days blurring together because they were all the same, yet the whole period feeling oddly long in memory because something about it was so different from normal life. That paradox is the novelty system and the routine system pulling in opposite directions at once, and it's a vivid reminder that your sense of time is built, not measured, assembled by the brain, out of memory and attention, rather than read off any clock. There's a deeper invitation in all of this, beyond just slowing the clock. The years feel fast partly because we stop seeking out the new, stop putting ourselves in unfamiliar situations, stop being beginners at anything. Children live in a constant state of newness because they have no choice. As adults, we can choose it, and most of us slowly stop choosing it, settling into the comfortable, the known, the same. The cost of all that comfort is that the time spent in it barely registers, and the years quietly disappear. To keep your life feeling full and long, you have to keep being willing to be a beginner, to seek the unfamiliar, to let yourself be surprised. So the next time you catch yourself saying, "Where did the year go?" you'll know the real answer. The year went into routine, into autopilot, into days so similar your brain didn't bother to record them. Time didn't actually speed up. Your life just got short on novelty, and a life short on novelty leaves few memories, and few memories make the years feel like they vanished. The remedy is in your hands. Want longer years? Give your brain something new to remember. Fill your days with first times, stay curious, stay present, and watch how much more of your one precious life you actually get to keep.